Hello, dear students. From this video onwards, I will be teaching an SQL exercise to you. We will practically create a database using MySQL, and we will add tables in that, and we will add rows in the table. We want to create a database called Institute, as the name of the database is given here, and this database will have following tables. So list of tables have been given, and what should be the columns in the table are given. Now you can pause the video and read this description. There are 5 tables as you see that you have to create. But instead of reading this for you, I will read the schema of the database, which is written in short over here. Check that the database name has to be Institute, and the tables in this database are student. Now you check that student is the most important entity in the institute. Every student is recognized by student ID, and it is underlined, you see. Whenever any attribute or column is underlined, then it is called primary key of that table. S name stands for student name. Just observe that in this example, we have been given column names, but we are not given data type of these columns, that is domain to which these columns belong. Then we have to decide the data type. Maybe SID, student ID, that is roll number in other words, can be decided to be an integer. Assuming that students are given SID as 1, 2, 3, 4, and so on. And this S name, which is name of a student, should be character type. But we will be using a data type called varchar, which stands for variable length character, and after varchar we can specify the width. Now this means that any student can have name maximum up to 40 characters. So this way we are going to specify the data type. Check the other tables. Course has course ID. Every course will be recognized by a unique ID. Then course title or course name, maybe C programming, Python programming, and duration. This duration is in hours. Some course might take 60 hours, some course might take 40 hours, and so on. Third is the enroll table. We would like to know which student has taken admission in which course. So this will give us an idea about how many admissions have been enrolled in our institute. Now notice in the enroll table, both SID and CID are underlined. That means the primary key of this table enroll is SID combined with CID. Although SID and CID are separate columns or separate attributes, but they both together form primary key. Don't worry, we will discuss why they form primary key. Next is teacher. Another important entity, every teacher is also given an ID, teacher ID, primary key, and teacher name. Now the fifth table is teaches. We would like to know which teacher teaches which course. And observe here also, both TID and CID together will form the primary key, although TID and CID are different columns. Now to understand few more things about the schema that we are going to create, I have shown some instance of the database. Well, by instance, what I mean is that for every table, I have shown some rows. Now assume that these are our students and the SIDs given are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 as you see, and some arbitrary names I have taken like A, B, C, D, E, F and all that. Now these are the courses offered by our institute, and every course has been given some number like 100, 101, and these are the title of the courses: C programming, Java, and the duration in hours. Now very interestingly, you look at enroll table. What is enroll table telling us? It is telling us which student has taken admission for which course. Like you can get the information here that there is a student with SID 1. Yes, of course, there is a look. I am ticking here. There is a student with SID 1 whose name is ABC, but we are not recording the name here. It is already recorded in the student table. So there is a student with SID1 and this person has taken admission for the course 100. Look, we have that course 100 and which is labeled as C programming. Now notice the same student, observe this, same student number 1 has taken admission for course 104 also, which is discrete mathematics. That means a particular student can take admission in multiple courses. Wait, just keep listening very carefully. You will agree that combination of SID and CID, combination of these two should be unique in all the rows. Correct? You just see one is repeated here in this column. See this. But 1 and 100 both together is not repeated in any of the rows. Yes, it will be senseless, isn't it? To again tell that student ID 1 has taken admission in course 100. Come on, this is already recorded over here. Why do you need to store that information? This will be redundant. That means combination of SID and CID should be unique. Hence, both together will form primary key. It cannot be duplicated. Their combination cannot be duplicated. Have a look at it again. Just check, there is student number 2 who has taken admission for course 104 and student number 2 has taken admission for course 100 also. Well, these two are valid rows because the combination of student ID and course ID is unique. There is something more interesting, you see. Student number 6 exists in our student table, whose name is some arbitrary name. But student number 6 does not appear anywhere in enroll table. What that means is there is a possibility that there is a student who has not enrolled for any course. I hope you are understanding. What I mean is that these are all the students who have registered with our institute, and these are the students who have enrolled for a course. So you can see that SID 6 never appears anywhere in the enrollment. That means student number 6 has not enrolled for any course. One more thing you observe. In the course table, there is a course number 105, Applied Maths. But course number 105 is not seen in the enroll table at all. That means this course 105, Applied Maths, till now is not taken by any student. Okay. Further, keep listening. Further, this SID, is called foreign key. SID of enroll table is called foreign key because this SID column references, check my words, references SID column of student table. And this CID is the foreign key, FK, foreign key, CID, because this column CID references CID of the course. Why really? Just see, suppose I add a row like this, that student number 8 has taken admission for course number 110. This is wrong. Why? Because, first of all, student number 8 does not exist in our student table. You see, what is the qualification needed? How can you say that there is a student number 8 who is taking admission for some course where no such student has registered with us in the student table? You observe. So, isn't this SID of enroll table, which I am underlining, isn't it dependent on SID of student table? Existence of a value over here in this enroll table, this value can exist only if that value appears in the SID column of the student table. So we say SID of enroll is foreign key and it references SID of the student table. Similarly, observe how can you say that a student has taken admission for the course 110? This is so wrong because in the course table there isn't any row, any entry for 110. I mean, our institute does not offer such a course which is numbered as 110. So clearly, this CID of enroll table is dependent on the CID of the course table. We say the CID of the enroll table is the foreign key and it references CID of the course table. I hope you have understood. And I hope also that you have understood why both SID and CID form the primary key. So tell me the properties of enroll table. Enroll table has two columns, SID, comma, CID, and both form primary key. And this SID is the foreign key which references SID of student table, and this CID is the foreign key which references CID of the course table. Okay. So these were the three tables, two more to go. Just keep listening. It's so important, to get idea about what we are going to create. The schema, the database that we want to create should be first of all very well understood. Let it take time because I'll tell you most of the exercises of SQL will be learned on this database. Okay, we want to create the next table is teacher table. Every teacher has TID and no TID is unique. Two teachers cannot have same TID. So this is the primary key and T name. Some arbitrary teacher names I have taken T1 to T4. So that's teacher table. Very interesting discussion we are heading to now. Just check. There is a table, last table called teachers table. We want to know which teacher teaches which course, isn't it? Like it is said that there is a teacher ID 1001 who teaches course 100. See, 1001, the same teacher teaches multiple subjects. This teacher 1001 teaches course number 100 and course number 101. Of course, one teacher can teach multiple subjects. Similarly, 1002 teaches multiple subjects. But you observe one thing, combination of TID and CID, course and teacher, is unique. I mean, it's make no sense. It doesn't make any sense to record a row again like this. Teacher number 1001 teaches course 100. Come on, you have already recorded this over here. What's the sense in duplicating this? Yes, but you can record one row like this. 1001 teaches 102 because this information is not there. Maybe this teacher started teaching this course also 102. You can record this. That means combination of TID and CID should be unique. So the primary key of this table teaches is both TID and CID. Both together form the primary key. Anything else? Yes. Existence of TID over here depends on the existence of a TID over here in the teacher table. You can't say that there is a teacher 1005 who teaches 100. Come on, there doesn't exist any such teacher 1005 at least in our teacher table. So this TID is dependent on TID of the teacher table. I hope you are getting it. So what will you call this TID of the teachers table as? This is foreign key which refers TID of the teacher table. Anything more? Yes, I am sure you have guessed it. CID over here in the teachers table can exist only when it is a valid course. You can't say 1003 has started teaching course number 110. Although teacher exists, 1003 you can see exist. But this course 110, I'll scroll up, doesn't exist. Course ID is from 100 to 105. So how are you saying that somebody teaches the course 110? What you understand is this CID is also the foreign key. And what does it refer? Yes, it refers CID of the courses. So give me the description of teachers table. Teaches. Which teacher teaches which course? This combination should be unique. So both form primary key and TID is foreign key which refers TID of teacher and CID is foreign key which refers CID of the course. This is the schema that we are going to create. And very interestingly, I will be teaching very important instructions in MySQL. Create table, first of all, and insert rows. How to insert rows. We will also see how to update and delete rows from the given table. So see you in the next video where we will practically create these tables using MySQL. Thank you very much.